Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The players, the hustlers, the people, the Muslim, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. Hail to the victor style as the Michigan Wolverines are the 2023 college football national champions. We'll talk about that and more this evening. There's a lot of stuff to unpack moving forward as far as the Michigan Wolverines' future is concerned, specifically what's going to happen with Coach Harbaugh. On one hand, you have him hiring Don Yee, who is a NFL super agent, to negotiate and to deal with NFL teams that are going to be offering them big money contracts to take over. And on the other hand, he's talking about spring practice with the Michigan Wolverines. And on the other hand, you've got J.J. McCarthy talking about how, he's sad because he knows they're never going to be together again. So there's a lot of stuff out there to break down. Rick Saratella is going to step up and join us this evening. But the championship game, and part of me was sad last night. Like, part of me was like, man, like, we should be on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always on during these big games and stuff over the years. But the way that it worked out, I was like, this is pretty cool. I was enjoying myself. Got myself, a couple of drinks. Enjoyed the pregame show, got my bets in, soaked in the broadcast and the game, the sights, the sounds of it all. So it's great to be here this evening. We'll break it down, but we've got stuff to look forward with, like the NFL playoffs. So the Toronto Raptors won a championship in, 2019? These years just sort of merged together, but I think it was 2019. So, and it feels like it wasn't that long ago, whatever. It was a little while, recent memory type thing. So the Raptors won a championship. Yeah, I'm a lifelong Dodger fan. We don't win that much, actually. Like, you know what I mean? The Dodgers won in 81. They won in 89. They won like 2 years ago, right? But, they don't win all the time. But I've seen the Dodgers win in my lifetime. Right? Yeah, I never saw the Raptors. Raptors are a new franchise, 25 years, 26 years. I think it was the 24th year that they won. Shout out to everyone joining us on SiriusXM Channel 159. I am Gabriel Morency. This is SportsRage on the SportsGrid Radio Networks. And I'm saying that there's no feeling. It's a great feeling to be a fan of a team and see them win a championship. It just is. Like, there's just, you can't top it. Right? Like, especially if you've been a lifelong fan and you're super invested in it and stuff. Last night, it's just special. Right? You figure, well, you don't play for the team. It's just a game and all that type of stuff. But when you're a diehard fan and your team wins, you can't top that feeling. So the Toronto Raptors have won in recent couple of years ago. The Dodgers won a couple of years ago. Michigan has now won. I grew up Montreal Canadian fan. I still am a Canadian fan, Vancouver Canucks and the Canadians, but the Canadians have won a lot. And hell, I've been in the building when they've won and stuff. So I've seen that. The Canucks have never won a Stanley Cup before. But like the next one, the last, like the true last one on my list, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. And is it possible? Could this be the year? Michigan wins, and then, we get the daily double? And somehow the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl? I'm kind of feeling it. Like, I think that I really do believe, I believe that the Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I think the path is there for them, no matter what happens. Like, as far as the bracket is concerned, they probably get, the Dolphins KC winner, but the game would be in Buffalo. And listen, I don't think the Miami Dolphins want any part of the Buffalo Bills anymore, okay? So, like, if you're the Dolphins, you're like, you got to be kidding me. Like, really? And the Chiefs, the Chiefs are a threat, but finally the Bills would get the Chiefs in Buffalo in a playoff game, and the Chiefs aren't as good as they have been in past years. So, really, if you look at the Buffalo Bills, to me, like, I'd be shocked if they're not in the AFC Conference Championship game. They're hosting 2 games. Right? They're hosting 2 games. So, like, if Miami upsets Kansas City, then they would get the Browns winner and or whatever. You get KC, Miami. Whatever the path is, it's attainable. They would have to go through Baltimore. But the thing is, as much as I like Baltimore, it never seems to work for them in the playoffs, right? You get into these one-game sort of situations. Like a lot of teams have like heartbreak in the playoffs. Like Baltimore doesn't really have time to get heartbreak. They get eliminated in the first game all the time somehow with Lamar Jackson. But Baltimore's had a lot of bad luck, right? He's always hurt, this, that. Like, you know what I mean? This is sort of the first year that's like, all right, they're locked, they're loaded, they're ready to go. They're not 100%, but my deal with Baltimore is, too, yeah, they have home field advantage, but they haven't played in forever, right? So then when they take the field, you're going to get a team that's like hot and stuff that just won the week before. I believe that, the Baltimore Ravens are beatable. I'm not one of these people that think, I've seen people, on ESPN and shows, NFL Network, they'd be shocked if the Baltimore Ravens aren't in the Super Bowl. No, I wouldn't. So, like, the Ravens are really good. I respect them, but I think the Bills could beat them. The Buffalo Bills could go into Baltimore and beat the Baltimore Ravens. And the way I look at this, sort of similar to, I'll be real, as a Michigan fan, I knew they were going to get there, right? Like, all year, I was like, whatever, dude, we're going to get there. We're going to have to play Georgia. We're going to have to beat Georgia. And I was hoping, it's almost like, unless somebody else can do it for us and get them out of the way. Like, I knew Michigan was going to win the championship once Georgia was out of the way. Georgia was Michigan's nemesis, all right? Michigan were the bullies with everybody. They weren't scared. Georgia, like, even the Michigan players would have been like, all right, this is it. Like, they're Darth Vader, and we got to find a way, right? Like, so, but they didn't have to play them. They got Alabama instead. They got Washington. So I'm thinking of Buffalo, and I'm like, you know what? I actually legitimately believe, and not because I'm a fan of the Bills. I'd tell you if I didn't think they were going to make it to the Super Bowl, but I really think they're going to win the AFC. But I'm like, damn, man. How do they beat the San Francisco 49ers? Right? That's what I'm sort of thinking. I'm like, man, the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be against the San Francisco 49ers, but, man, they're going to be tough to beat. And then I'm thinking, but maybe this will be like the Georgia thing. Maybe San Francisco stumble along the way. Maybe an LA Rams can knock them off. Like, so, man, we got some great NFL games this week. All right, we'll be breaking them down. We'll get you caught up to date with the updated point spreads. The Rage Red Cam Stewart going to step up, and then Andrew McKinnis joins us. Our boy Rick Saratella in the house this evening. Mo Khan joins us. We got a full house tonight. We'll get into the NFL playoffs. We've got the Toronto Raptors and the Los Angeles Lakers tipping off in a couple of minutes. We'll get into that basketball game. The Raptors are 3-1 since the trade. 3 of the 4 games have gone over the number. The Raptors are really pushing the pace now with this new look lineup. And I tell you what, the Raptors are a better team than their 15-21 record would indicate. So we'll get into that game. We got college basketball going on. We got a bunch of NHL in-game stuff. We got a lot of stuff to break down. The late night anger management class. You know how we roll. This is Sports Rage. Bring it.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices. We're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run, run, run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's all a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthier to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
A lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Bills going on the road to Miami Gardens, knocking off the Dolphins as 3-point favorites. They win it 21-14.
You want to lose like the Falcons did today, 48-17? That's probably bothersome. You want to win an ugly game where you throw 3 picks, but you end up winning the division? No one cares. Ain't nobody going to be talking about interceptions in the end zone tomorrow. You know what they're talking about? Hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers next weekend in the playoffs.
Football Full Circle, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. Let's do this thing. It's the Twisted Tuesday as we're ready to bring it following the national championship game. Last night, we weren't on last night, but I don't mind because we were able to soak it all in. I've listened to Mr. Brightside probably about 72 million times in different formats and everything else. And I tell you, too, like Mr. Brightside came up. Remember when they beat Ohio State 3 years ago? That was like a big special moment. And that was sort of like the song, and it was a big thing, and there's a big video and all that. They've done it for the last couple of years, but it didn't have the same pop to me, right? Like when we beat Ohio State again this year, it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. We got to win the national championship, so let's do Mr. Brightside. It's all good. It just was like, yeah, I didn't feel it the same way as it was 3 years ago. It was crazy because at the Rose Bowl, it was a tense-ass game, man. And it was going back and forth, and it's really cool. They played Mr. Brightside, and then they played Alabama's song, and like half the stadium, and then the other half of the stadium, and it sort of ignited Michigan a bit. Like the players, like the players were like moving to the song on the sideline, sort of like getting into it, and then last night though to win the championship, and anybody that saw, I posted a million videos, but there's a video in which the kids in Michigan and Ann Arbor hit the streets the second the game was over. It's classic. Like the bar was completely full, and then seconds later, everything is empty, and everyone's on the street. I don't know where the hell the music was coming from, but somewhere they had speakers somewhere, man. They were cranking it, man. And there was just like, I don't know, like 20,000 kids or something, like jumping up and down. And I was just thinking, that's a night like they'll never forget. And not, I can't imagine the hangovers. Hopefully you use the protection. Otherwise, we're going to have a bunch of babies named JJ in 9 months. What's your son's name?
My
JJ?
kid McCarthy.
Donovan Edwards, Donovan.
Yes.
Blake Corum. My son's name is Blake.
Yeah, Blake. Yeah, or Blake. Yeah.
Or Jim.
Maybe.
Like God knows,
Jim,
right? Like how many? Like Jim.
You're right. Hey, Jimmy boy. Come on.
No, it's true. Best. Like I was thinking that, I'm like, God, like I was just thinking, man, I wish I was 22 years old and like in Michigan right now in the middle of this, man, because I just saw these girls come running out of the bar. Ah! Yeah. I just thought, I was like, man, these kids are about to have the time of their life. But that's what these kids go to these schools for. Michigan's a good school, so that's just sort of part of it, but when you see, when people go to Florida Gulf Coast or they go to, VCU and these places, they're praying for that March Madness moment where their school matters and they're going to the games and there's a party and all that. So Michigan finally gets it done. There's a lot of stuff to unpack. Rick Saratella, Mo Khan going to be with us. No one knows what Harbaugh is going to do. Nobody knows what J.J. McCarthy is going to do. My own personal gut feel and opinion is that they're both going to leave. I think that Harbaugh is going to go to the NFL. Yep. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to go to the NFL. But nobody knows. Like Harbaugh, I don't think Harbaugh knows. I don't think J.J. McCarthy knows. I think it's all very fluid as far as, number one, what team. Does he feel comfortable with a certain team and its ownership group? Does he feel like it's a perfect fit? And as far as like J.J. McCarthy is concerned, he really can't prove anything else right now. So I really don't see what the point of going back to college is. And I say that as someone that loves him in Michigan. But if I was advising J.J. McCarthy, I would advise him to go to the National Football League. Rick Saratella from the NFL Draft Bible will be with us. Andrew McKinnis ready to step up and in right now. We've got a bunch of NHL in-game action going on. We'll get to the Lakers and the Raptors game in a couple of minutes. The Vancouver Canucks roll in to the Tri-City area, beat the Devils, beat the Rangers, and beat the New York Islanders. A season-long 7-game road trip for the New York Islanders starts against the Islanders for the Canucks. They beat them 5-2 tonight. They start off 3-0 on this road trip. The Vancouver Canucks are relentless right now. Andrew McKinnis steps up. What's going on, McKinnis? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Good to be here with you. And I'll tell you what, the Canadian teams right now are looking good. I mentioned a few weeks ago on this show about the Winnipeg Jets. They still look good, but Vancouver's keeping it going. The Maple Leafs tonight, finally no flat spot for them. They pummeled the helpless San Jose Sharks. It's a good time to be a Canadian hockey fan.
You're right, none of it means anything. A team from Canada hasn't won since 1993, right? So are you telling us you think this is going to be the year that a team from Canada actually wins the Cup?
I don't know.
Well, I think this year's the year that it's not just one round. That's the thing.
I'm with McGinnis. Let's think positive. Hey, the Jets have won 7 games in a row. Your Canucks are the hottest team in the league. You know how hard it is to go to the East Coast, beat the Devils, Islanders, and Rangers? Like they never used to do stuff like that, man. I know it's the regular season right now, but you really want to play these teams? Vancouver rolls out 4 lines. Winnipeg's the best defensive team in the league now. The Kings are falling on their face. They blew a 2-0 lead late to Tampa tonight. Like, what the hell's going on here? It's a long season, Gabe, but McKinnis is on to something. This could be the year. I think Canadian teams are going deep.
You guys laughed at me last couple weeks ago when I said Winnipeg was the best team. Maybe not laugh, but I said Winnipeg's the best Canadian team in the league. And I got some looks. They were 18-1 last week. I don't know what they are this week, but I'm telling you, look, they aren't even in that graphic that was just up there.
Who gave you looks? You got looks.
Who gave you looks?
From me?
No,
you saying me?
Yeah, no, I think
you guys were laughing.
No, actually, you know what? No, Morency said this because I remember. He said, actually goes, he actually complimented Winnipeg. He goes, listen, they had a TSN survey and they said, who's better, Winnipeg or Vancouver? And he actually said, yeah, Winnipeg's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, McKinnis?
That's what I said. I said that Craig Button said that the Winnipeg Jets were the best Canadian team.
Yes.
And I said, what the hell is this guy talking about? I said, they're not better than Canucks. And then I kind of looked at the numbers. I was like, they're kind of, I said, they're doing better than I realized.
I'm excited about it.
Don't be. I'm telling you. They'll break your heart.
Don't be. He doesn't care about the Jets. He's a Habs fan.
No. And I've banned, one of the reasons I don't bet Winnipeg Jet games, McKinnis. They're on my list. Like, they're one of those teams, I'm never right with them. Like, for years. Like, if I bet on them, they'll lose. If I bet against them, they win. If I take the under, they'll score like 2 empty netters in 10 seconds. Like, I am whatever I do with a Winnipeg Jet game is, for the most part, going to be wrong. I used to go on Winnipeg radio, and they would, hate it when I would pick them and stuff. It's real. No, it's been going on for years and years, and I finally just realized, I'm like, you know what? My life's just better if I just ignore them. So
that's Nashville for me.
I generally, when I see Winnipeg Jet games, I sort of just skip right over them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I can't bet Nashville games, guys. I got to avoid.
That's like Nashville's my team too. I hate that team. I bet on them.
I don't
they
like
screw
that
up.
division.
Yeah.
St. Louis. Nah, I don't like those teams.
Good ball. It's a creepy division.
Like, I don't like
Weird
betting on that
happen.
division.
You're so right. Like, look at
I'm
tonight.
being real. I don't like betting on that
Nationals
division.
at home.
St.
Anaheim's
Minnesota versus St. Louis.
So
Like, go
right.
screw yourself. I don't want to touch you.
Look at Anaheim tonight, guys.
Apologies
You're right,
to people in
Ken.
Minnesota, but you're right. Look at Nashville tonight. They got a home game against a wounded Duck as in Anaheim, and they're getting pummeled. Was it 4-0, McKinnis? You said it. It's bizarro world, that division. Whatever you think, go the other way.
It's true, though. It's like football or basketball, college conferences. You need to admit to yourself, like, you're not going to win every conference. You're not going to be an expert. There's so many of them. And it's the same thing. Like, sort of like NFL. I don't avoid conferences, but I know I'm good at, like, AFC East, NFC West. Like, I'll sort of, I'm in NFC West country. So, like, I go with what I see. Like, go with what you know. There's just certain conferences.
NFC South.
That I'm not a fan of.
That's
the AFC South for me. I don't like that stuff. The Titans, the Jags, and all that stuff.
And all that stuff. The Titans, Jags, and all that
stuff. Just a crap-ass division. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the NFC South. Both the South. They both suck.
Yeah,
NFC South blows, too.
I'm telling you.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
favorite. I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Bills going on the road to Miami Gardens, knocking off the Dolphins as 3-point favorites. They win it 21-14.
You want to lose like the Falcons did today, 48-17? That's probably bothersome. You want to win an ugly game where you throw 3 picks, but you end up winning the division? No one cares. Ain't nobody going to be talking about interceptions in the end zone tomorrow. You know what they're talking about? Hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers next weekend in the playoffs.
Football Full Circle. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. Good to be back. Quickest 108 minutes in sports talk and TV. We got Rick Saratella still going to join us. We got our boy Mo Khan in the house. Andrew McKinnon's with us. I want to get to the Laker-Raptor game, but before we do, let's look at the in-game and see if we can come up with some in-game hockey picks right now. So the Edmonton Oilers were massive favorites tonight in the Windy City against the Blackhawks. They're only up 2-1 after 2 periods of play right now. They're actually 10-1 favorites, minus 1,000 right now. That's crazy. Only up a goal, and they're 10-1. Minus 1,000. The Blackhawks are plus 600. This is pretty crazy. You can get the Blackhawks right now, guys, plus 2.5, minus 160.
Kind of interested in that, to be honest with you.
That's a lot of goals.
Edmonton. It really is.
But the thing is, I laid 1.5 with Edmonton already. Mm-hmm. So this is not a bad buyback for me to jump in here. What do you think, McKinnis, of this with the Oilers? Doesn't appear like they're going to score 4 goals or something here in the last period. I don't think so. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones with this Blackhawks team. You look at the roster before every game, and you're wondering, why isn't this team losing by 10 goals every game? I mean, it's crazy. No Taylor Hall, no
dudes working hard and stuff. McKinnon.
That's the thing, man. I love taking. Now that Bedard's out, they're probably a play-on team. Everybody's playing for jobs and stuff. Like, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to score much, but they're going to battle. You know what I mean? They're going to battle in the corners, and it won't be easy, McKinnis. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, they'll make it
but
hard.
I'm going to take the 2.5. I'm going to take the 2.5.
You know what I am too, Gabe? You sold me. I'm in. You didn't have to sell me hard. Love it.
Yeah, plus 2.5, minus 160.
Done.
You can.
I've got the Oilers minus 1.5 already. So
I got the Oilers in a parlay. So I like the 2.5. What about Calgary live, guys? What do you think about that game? It's tied 2-2 with Ottawa. Calgary's lost 2. They're at home. Ottawa's a problem. Oh yeah, Calgary's on your list too. Winnipeg and Calgary.
No, I only fade Calgary. Canada. I don't bet on Calgary. I bet against them only.
Yes.
Except I don't know if I want the sense here. What are you guys doing here? What do you think? It's 2-2. The game's a pick 'em right now, minus 115.
They're not much of a flame. You said it, Gabe. Kind of like a broken Bic lighter. Like, they got nothing, but I like them tonight. Ottawa's just as crappy as them, and they've lost 2. They're at home. They just tied it up. I'm on Calgary. Was it $1.40? I'm in. What do you think, McKinnis?
Yeah, I have plus 105 or 110, I think, right now. Flames team total to get to 4 over 3.5. So you can get that right now at like even money, minus 105, depending on where you're looking around. So I'd recommend that. I mean, the thing is with this Senators team, you can tell they're trying defensively. You can tell they're making an effort, but every now and then they just make that mistake you shouldn't make. They can't clear the puck. They miss a pass, and it's just one of those things where you see you read the interviews, the quotes, you watch. I watched Brady Tkachuk on After Hours Hockey Night in Canada. They're saying all the right things, but you know what I describe this Ottawa Senators team as, guys? Too many cooks in the kitchen. They've got too many superstar forwards, not enough guys that are just responsible defensively. Like, casual hockey fans, when they hear about defense, all they think about is defensemen. But they don't have enough defensive forwards. Every one of their forwards just cares about up the ice, scoring. So Flames for me, over 3.5. And, guys, actually, I have them as a buy. I was looking at the schedule yesterday or Sunday night, actually. The Flames have an actual pretty good schedule coming up here. I believe this could be a good bet on next couple of weeks here for this Flames team.
Andrew McKinnis with us. I don't like the owner or his restaurant.
I don't like the owner or his restaurant. He's with the Leafs now. He's here.
No, but that's the son. The dad's the one with the show. The money.
Senior's still there. Yeah, money man.
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying.
I'm with you. I'm not a big fan.
I'm just going to say, I went to one of these places. I'm effing sitting there in the dark, having a nice drink after my show on a Friday night. And I look over and I'm like, is that like a rat on that like booth over there? And I'm like, no, it can't be. There's no way. And then lo and behold, man, I look down at my foot like a minute later and there was another one. And I get up. I'm like, oh my God, I get up. And I call the waitress over. I go, listen, I don't want to cause a scene in there or anything like this, but I said, get my effing bill. I said, give me my bill. And hold on, okay. I said, get me my bill. And I said, I'm going to pay. I said, I don't want to pay, but I said, I don't want to whatever. I said, just get my bill. I just want to get out of here, all right? And I said, I'm waiting outside. I said, I'm not waiting in here while you do this. I said, I'm going to go wait outside. But I'm not just going to stiff you because it was like a young girl waitress. And I didn't want to like cause her grief. And then I'm like, so listen, are you aware that there's like rats running around everywhere? She's like, yeah, there's kind of been a problem and stuff. I send them like one of those, like, you know, how did you enjoy your stay with us? I go online. I tell them politely. I'm like, listen, stuff happens. I understand, but kind of freaked me out. And they didn't even get back to me. They didn't even respond to me. No, and I don't got it because it said, thank you for your comments. Expect a reply in the next 4 days or whatever. Never even got a reply cam from them. So clearly they don't want my business. They don't care. So I don't like their team. Problem. I don't like that place. I don't like anything about it.
I hate that place. I always thought that place was overrated. The pizza sucks. The wings are crap. You saw 2 rats in a restaurant? Think about the kitchen.
Yes.
I've worked in so many restaurants. They're hanging out there. That's where it's not even nice out there. That's what I said. Breeding in the kitchen.
That's what I said to her. I said, if they're hanging around right now in a full dining room, I said, what's it like in the middle of the night in here? I'm like, oh my God.
In the kitchen, they're probably working the deep fryer. They're everywhere, man. You can find one in the deep fryer.
Yeah. So sorry, just to think about. That's why I sort of got silent for a second about the Calgary Flames. I'm like, I don't like their owner.
Oilers just scored again.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what did I say wrong? I was like, what did I say wrong here?
You didn't say anything wrong. Fired up. Right. I can't believe you saw multiple rats, not even one. That's That's so disgusting, bro. I just lose my mind.
Okay, well, Gabe, this is what happens, man. He talks so bad about the Flames that get scored on. 3-2 Ottawa. I mean, jeez.
This guy's got scored over. See, oh my God, I should have been on the Sens. You had 3-2.
Yeah, we should have taken the Sens after this rat story. Damn it. Joke. I can't believe this.
Got to wonder about that arena in Calgary now, too.
I got to worry about a lot of things
running around
now.
In that arena.
That's crazy. It's like a regular play. He's chained. It's called an exterminator. Anyway,
you guys are always talking about live betting with hockey. The prices are crazy how it works though with live betting. I mean, Calgary's the favorite going into this game. I know it's we're into this game quite a bit now.
There's
value
at this point, on the Flames now at plus 200. Let's be real.
There's a lot of time how it works.
Yeah, you're getting you're down by one only.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, so hold on. Lakers and Raptors coming up here. I brought this up earlier. So the Raptors guys, they're 3-1 straight up and against the spread since the trade. Actually, they got a push, in one of them. So they've been good. Like, this new look Raptor lineup is pretty good. They're better. Like, they're going to get better. You know, basketball is not an easy sport. There's only 5 dudes on the court. Like, basketball, it takes a while. I don't care if you're a star player, if you're whatever. Like, it takes a little while to get a rhythm and, like, to learn to play with people. So they're doing this on the fly right now. Hey, but it kind of helped that Quickly and RJ Barrett already knew each other. So you got those 2 dudes, but it's working. Like, it's a nice, fresh new look the Raptors have. They really push the tempo. I'm taking the Raptors plus the points. I want to take the over, but I don't trust the old man Lakers to, keep up.
Exactly.
I don't know if, they'll be able, I don't know, the Lakers aren't an over team, really. But I think the Raptors could win this game outright, guys. But I took the Raptors plus the points, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Raptors won. They're going to be fired up. Like, everyone we talked about it, sort of like playing the Leafs or the Cowboys. Every team gets excited to play against the Lakers in LA. And the Lakers deal with your best shot. The Raptors had a day off. They're coming off the win in Golden State the other night. No reason why the Raptors can't get it done tonight, guys. Give me the Raptors plus the points. And as far as player props are concerned, I will tell you this. I know that Scotty Barnes over 19.5 tonight is the most popular prop of the night, with the sports books. Everybody's hammering Scotty B tonight. Give me the Raptors plus the points. McKinnis, any pick on the Raptors-Lakers game?
Yeah, well, what you just said there with the Lakers, the old man Lakers, as you said, is why I'm not taking the full game over. I'll go first half up and over 116.5. The pace has gone up since those trades were made. I'm going to miss OG and his defense, but this has become a fast team with the Raptors here. And even before that trade, they're kind of becoming an over team. They were known for their defense, and all of a sudden that pace was there. You really feel like with Lakers, their totals die off in the second half. They start off hot, and then the tempo really slows down. They start going through their plays, going through the nice sets. So I'll go with that. And honestly, with Jakob Poeltl out, I think that you talk about kind of a popular play here tonight. I don't care how popular it is. I think AD has himself a night. I'm looking at over 41.5 points plus rebounds. How many pounds does he have on Chris Boucher, guys? I mean, as long as he doesn't get a hangnail and go out of the game for a few days, I think he has a great day, Anthony Davis, and dominates tonight.
Coming out hot.
A little pot shot there, like what? I like your pick. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, AD is going to go off. Good call by bringing up the fact that Pirtle is out. I'm going to jump on the popular opinion on this one. I'm going to go Scotty Barnes over 19.5 because I don't think they're going to be able to deal with him in the paint. And I think the game can get there. Bring what you said, McKiss, too. Jakob Pirtle, he kind of takes up, he's kind of the one defensive guy in the Raptors. He's kind of the only defensive guy in the Raptors, to be honest. He takes up space. He's in the paint. He's just a big dude, so he's in the way, right? Yeah, I've seen him up close a lot. He's pretty good at just sort of clogging lanes and stuff like that. Should be a pretty track meet, free-flowing game. It could get there. I'm just saying 237 is a lot, but I really like your AD look there. Points, rebounds, good call. And I'm going to go Scotty Barnes over 19.5, and I'm going to get a piece of Quickly's over 4.5 assists here. I think it's 4.5.
I think the money line can't resist.
You want the Raptors?
Yeah, and the money line, plus 170 on one of my books. I got to take it. That's right.
Love it.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices. And we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now he's all a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
A lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Bills going on the road to Miami Gardens, knocking off the Dolphins as 3-point favorites. They win it 21-14.
You want to lose like the Falcons did today, 48-17? That's probably bothersome. You want to win an ugly game where you throw 3 picks, but you end up winning the division? No one cares. Ain't nobody going to be talking about interceptions in the end zone tomorrow. You know what they're talking about? Hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers next weekend in the playoffs.
Football Full Circle. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. So the Edmonton Oilers scored, but it was offside. And I could have told him it was offside in about 3 seconds, and it took them about 3 minutes to review it. You could see it, whatever. Dude, the guy's foot, the puck bounced in, his foot was over the line. It is what it is. So we still have a 2-1 hockey game here right now. Really, the thing that catches my eye here, McInnes, the fact that the Edmonton Oilers only have 13 shots on goal, bro, with 15 minutes left in the third period against the Chicago Blackhawks, man. That's pretty pathetic.
That is. I mean, you talk about flat spots or letdown stuff. You guys are right. I mean, these guys are workhorses for Chicago. And I was listening to an interview today. It was with a player from the World Juniors and the USA team. He said, we know how to play every country. The weaker countries will kind of sit back. The stronger countries want to carry the puck. The reason why I bring it up, look at Chicago right now. They have to change their style without Bedard, without some of these top guys. Maybe they're going to be an under team. I'm tempted right now. I'm seeing 6.5 on my screen. I'm tempted to punt in the under 6.5.
You know what? It's a great call by McInnes, Gabe, and I saw it with the Leafs. Despite them scoring tonight, like San Jose had 1 goal. Take a look at the recent games, the defensive road trip. Everything's different now. You got that Wall kid still not coming back. They're starting goaltender, and they don't want to hang Jones out to dry. Samsonov stinks, so he's gone. And now they're playing this type of hockey where all the forwards are getting back. They've changed their style. Every game went under. And tonight, if San Jose wasn't so crap, that game would have gone under. McInnes is right. When you lose guys, you got to play a defensive system. And Chicago right now, you could tell all their guys are getting back. Edmonton's attacking, and there's 4 guys on the Blackhawks back. Good call on the under, McInnes. I'm going to ride under with Bedard gone.
Well, it's 5.5 now in game, shaded heavily to the under. But you know what it is? Remember, same thing, guys. Remember the San Jose Sharks? I was betting every Shark game under, guys, when they were losing all the time before. There was a run there. Bad hockey teams, the one thing you can do if you don't have talent in hockey, if you work hard, like, you know what I mean? No, if you work hard, if you don't have talent, you can. There's a few things you can do. You can forecheck, backcheck, forecheck, work hard, dump the effing puck in, get the effing puck out of the zone, like right away. We suck, make sure, fire drill, get the effing puck out of our zone. But bad teams, you can do that. Bad teams can't score. So that's why it leads to unders. Who the hell's going to score on the Chicago Blackhawks? You know what I mean? Where the goal's going to come from? Right? So they can battle and be competitive, but like, who's going to score for them? That's why the unders are a good look with bad hockey teams.
Yeah.
Bad hockey teams that try. If a bad hockey team's not trying, then they'll give up 7
Gabe,
goals.
you played hockey before. Our coach used to say when we played good teams, he goes, just dump the puck. Let's turn this into a real boring game and let these guys get frustrated every time. Just piss them off. Keep it tied for a while. Keep them down. That's what you do. That hockey's one sport you can do that in. You can play that.
There's more of a method. I didn't like this sort of transition to this dump and chase stuff. I was like, you fight to get the puck, and then you give it away to go fight to get the puck again. Like, what's the point? Well, why don't we just keep the puck, right, and go into the zone? But it's not just like, let's dump it in. I understand, like you just said, Cam, the whole point is, right, McKiss, make the effing defenseman make a mistake, man.
Yeah.
Make him turn around, go into the corner. It's not just about dump the puck in. It's about getting the defenseman into the corners, making them sloppy, clear. You beat him to the puck. You get it in the slot. There's a bigger method to it, but I'm more of a fan. Like, if you look at the Vancouver Canucks, guys, they don't dump the puck much. They will.
Talented. They don't have to, though. They don't have to.
They don't do it at the end of shifts, kind of like, all right, dump it in. Yeah. They come in skating and passing it, guys. Like, they're like, no, we're not just going to give it away. We're going to come in flying on you, and it's fun to watch, right? You know what I mean? The transition of this stuff.
What teams never dump the puck in, Gabe? Colorado, Vancouver, Toronto. When you look at some of the most offensive teams in the league, they carry the puck in because they know beat us.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, you got to be able to dump it in and bang it in.
The Leafs.
That's the problem.
You and McInnes know that. That's the Leafs' problem. Where's the sandpaper? When you got too many guys who love this, in the
playoffs, the other teams just set a wall up, Cam, at their blue line. It's like, whatever, dude, we got 5 guys. What are you going to do?
That's
you have no choice but to dump the puck behind us and try to go fight for it, and you can't do it. They know it. That's why they beat the Leafs.
Look at the regular season, too. And I'm telling you, McInnes brought this up the last show, Florida. Not only they talented, they're 100 times tougher than the Leafs. They got close
because they're dirty in the corners. They'll stab you in the corner for the puck and stuff, right? They'll slew foot. You're like, hey, give me the puck.
You're right. There's like carrying weaponry on ice. They're a tough team, man. McKinnis talked about it. I do not want to deal with the Panthers. They're good, and they'll beat you up. They do a lot of things well.
All right.
It's funny you say they're dirty,
game,
but
14 minutes left.
It
Florida,
works,
they are
right?
dirty. But
it
no,
works.
you have to look at guys. Every team that's won the Cup has been dirty. Mm-hmm. Boston, dirty. St. Louis beat Boston, dirty. Like Tampa Bay, dirty as hell.
Dirty. Tampa Bay have the best slew fitters in the league. They do it
they
well.
Elbow you, they jab
like
you
wrestlers.
with the stick in the corner. They butt you in the gut and
up
stuff.
there. I watch Tampa Bay games.
That
going,
Kucherov guy, bro, he kicks you in the corner and stuff. Like, they do everything. But that's how you win hockey games. You get mad. You're like, you son of a bitch. Right?
You're right. They beat the Leafs up.
Every defenseman was like 6 feet tall for Vegas too, right? That's a huge thing right now in hockey. I remember when I was younger,
big dudes. I know.
Yeah, they were saying like you can't be a goaltender unless you're like 6'2". Now they're saying that about defensemen anymore. Unless you're like a Cale Makar, like slick moving defenseman, you better be like 6'3" on ice on skates, or you can't be a defenseman. Vegas, they were so dominant, right? And you even look at certain teams, in the East Division, where they can, look when Tampa Bay was dominating. They had the decor. And that's the thing that I think teams like the Leafs and Oilers are missing. It's not the offensive pieces. It's that great point by you, Gabe, about even though you were kind of chuckling about it, you're right. About that wall thing, you're right. Because they can say, all right, I dare you to dump it in. I dare you to dump it in. Come get the puck and see what happens. So as much as we were ripping on the
and then
LA game,
McKinnis, Mitch Marner's thinking, I'm going to get face planted into the glass.
Yeah.
So they know that. It's like, go get it. Fine. We got two guys that are going to crush you, right? And in the playoffs, you get away with hitting people. And teams can't flick that switch. I think Vancouver, though, have the grit in them. They have the grit. The one thing with Vancouver in the playoffs, my concern, I tweeted about tonight, lack of playoff experience. We just don't know, right? It's going to be the first time that these guys are going to be in the playoffs, a lot of them on the team. They've never been in the playoffs before. Right. And they're probably going to get the Oilers, the Kings, the Knights. I don't know, like which one they're going to get. One of those, but it'll be one of those three teams. Either one of them will be tough.
Got to be honest with you, Morency. I look at the Vancouver Canucks defensemen. They're a hell of a lot tougher than the Leafs defensemen. Who's the toughest guy in the Leafs? They're defensemen. There's nobody. Nobody's
Talk's a better coach than he's just a better coach.
Way better.
I saw an interview with Talkett tonight, and he even said, he goes, I speak to each player every day individually about their game. Like he speaks to each guy. Listen, I need you to do this. Like, you're not doing this enough. Like, he's 100 million % honest with him. I need you to do this, or you're doing a great job. Keep doing this. But if you're not, like, he holds that on a daily basis. There's like a daily briefing with everybody about where they stand, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what we need from you. And it's been working. So 2-1 in the game. Speaking of working,
is any player scared of Sheldon?
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's their buddy.
Like, Sheldon Keefe doesn't even want to talk to him. He's thinking, I don't want to piss off the team. I don't want to upset them. Like, Talkett's like, all right, get the hell in my office right now. Like, 3:05. You know what I mean? Like, right? Like, and I don't care if you're making money, Cam. You'd be like, man, I can't be late for Talkett. Like, I better show up. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Talkett instills fear and respect. Talkett does it the right way. He used to play. The thing about John Tortorella, they go, who the hell are you, bro?
Exactly.
Who are you? What have you done in hockey? I'm one of the best two-way players going. I'm talking. I smash bases, score
people
goals,
respect Talkett.
Set up
You're
guys.
Right.
Yes, he was a great player, not just a good player, a great player. So when you have some idiot coach that's never played the game or played at a lower level, and you're telling the best players in the world what to do, they're like, yeah, get bent, buddy. It's okay. I think I got things under control. That's why Talkett they're working for.
Short shelf life. For coaches like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it works for a little while, but then it wears off. All right, so for the record, Boston Bruins and the Coyotes, guys. The Coyotes just scored McKinnis 2-2 right now. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm on the Coyotes plus 1.5. Yeah, I'm howling to the moon, baby, like Ozzy Osbourne. Let's go, Coyotes, and we're on the Flames.
I want to take the Bruins almost now, minus 135 only.
Got his mic. No, it's okay. No, that's actually, you know what?
Come on.
They
were like a 160
time.
favorites. It's the Boston Bruins, man. McKinnis?
McKinnis, are the Bruins a little bit overrated this year? They're not as good. They're not as good as they were. Your opinion?
Well, I tried to follow Cam on the Coyotes, and it froze. They scored right when I was going to bet it, so I don't really know what to do now. I I was trying to be a good line mate here, and Cam was giving me a play. I literally had loaded up already $100 on the plus 1.5, 100 on the money line. Yep. and I looked at Cam and I said, wow. I think you scored a goal. So, hey, to be honest with you guys, I'd love to, jump in with you again, but I feel like I kind of missed my shot. Maybe the under. This game kind of has like overtime written all over it. I don't know. I think this game could be kind of locked. I think they might start playing defense and play for the point. That's kind of what I'm reading right now.
See, I got Arizona at plus 236, so I'm in a good spot right now. When I bet them live when they were down a goal again, I clicked it again, but you're onto something. Boston was $155.60 before the game. 135 is actually it's a pretty good price. You got a period of hockey left, but small favorite. But I'm on Arizona big.
All right, we got a break coming up. We'll get to the football on the other side with Andrew McKinnis. We'll get his picks. His Packers playing the Cowboys, baby.
Nice call, Gabe.
Looking ahead
I thought
tomorrow,
the Bears would show up. Packers played a great game. Love looked fantastic in that game. Like
Jordan Love's
the Bears
the real deal, bro. A kid's the star.
No, dude,
I'm telling you.
Oh, not just that. Like, and the Bears were playing the best defense in the league. He shredded them. Like every pass was perfect. I'm like, wow, they're getting no pressure. The offensive line held up. I'm telling you, Dallas is laying 7.5. Don't sleep on the Packers, man. That team looks good. They're getting better.
Oh, I like the Packers plus the points, but we'll get to this in a minute. The Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers tomorrow. I haven't been on top of this. I saw Biz Nasty and Bissonnette tweeting about it tonight and stuff, so I'm kind of aware of the Flyers. And so what's this, McKinnis, all about? The Flyers draft pick didn't want to play for them, so they had to trade him to Anaheim. He wouldn't even meet with them, right? They went all the way to Sweden to try to like calm things down and meet with them at the World Junior Championships, and he's like, I don't even want to meet with you. I'm not meeting with you. That clearly is agent. There's no way some kid hockey player is like dictating this. I don't know, like clearly.
And why would they draft him, Morency? That's another thing. Like if you have this information about this team before. They were probably told,
Cam, I'm thinking, don't draft us. We don't like you. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Wow. And if they still did it, that's on them.
Yeah. You've seen that stuff happen before where it's like, you know what? Listen, we're not a fan of your organization. Maybe the agent feels burnt by something else. Something was said. I've always thought Briere was a weird dude. I'm just calling out for what it is personally. The guy's kid, too, man. The guy's kid, like, threw a woman's wheelchair down the stairs. Who the hell does that?
That's a psychopathic move.
You're like, I'm not blaming, I'm just saying. Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's crazy. That's a crazy move. I'm with you, babe. Like, there's problems.
And Tortorella is a psychopath, so I don't know the real story behind this, but they're playing the Habs tomorrow, McKinnis.
Montreal.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, my 2 cents. We don't know really what went on between them, but the fact of the matter is, I don't know what's going on with the NHL. They're a lot more prima donna than they were over the past few years. That's bothering me quite a bit. I like the over. I just think that whenever the Habs get into matchups against teams that are below par, I think they get into kind of shootouts a little bit here. This is a team playing a lot better right now. They're getting production from all 4 lines. Their power play is playing better, but whenever they have a big win, usually it's a letdown afterwards. It's been a few days. Big win against the Rangers. I see the Philadelphia Flyers scoring a few on the Habs.
Yep.
Flyers are minus 180, though. You can't trust that.
True moms. No way, man.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Ken.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division.
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about 2 franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
A lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Bills going on the road to Miami Gardens, knocking off the Dolphins as 3-point favorites. They win it 21-14.
You want to lose like the Falcons did today, 48-17? That's probably bothersome. You want to win an ugly game where you throw 3 picks, but you end up winning the division? No one cares. Ain't nobody going to be talking about interceptions in the end zone tomorrow. You know what they're talking about? Hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers next weekend in the playoffs.
Football Full Circle, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
I want to get to the football, but all this hockey talk, the first hour just flown by. McKinnis in the house. He's a Packer fan. We got to get to that. But as far as the NHL is concerned, 3-2 for the Senators right now, going into the third period of play. 2-2 Coyotes and the Bees tied up at 2 after 2. Boston are minus 135 favorites right now. Arizona plus 105. I think Boston are worth a look there. And in this Edmonton game. Edmonton only have 15 shots on goal, guys, with 6 minutes left in the hockey game. They're fortunate to be up 2-1 right now. We'll see if that empty netter is coming for them. I've got Edmonton minus 1.5, but I also jumped in on the Chicago Blackhawks plus 2.5. So we'll see how this plays out right now. So just quickly with these hockey games for tomorrow, we talked about the Canadiens and the Flyers, Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars, and the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. McKinnis, what do you think about that Vegas and Avs game tomorrow?
Colorado right now, they've got defensive issues. They've got goaltending issues. To me, you think about 1A, 1B, an expression that's been getting thrown around in the NHL quite a bit, having 2 goalies. Colorado has a 1A and a 1H. They have nowhere near a second goalie. They've got a top goalie and now nobody after that, guys. I like the over in this game. Yeah, Vegas is. I think Vegas is finally waking up.
2B.
Yeah,
1A and 2B. Yeah, exactly.
You got a 1A and you got a 2B. No.
Is it Leafs fourth stringer Gabe Hutch? Isn't Hutch their backup? Who else they got?
No, it's Prosvetov.
Koskov.
I can't.
That guy sucks too.
Nate Peterman of the NHL came. He's going to stick around forever.
When I saw Nate Peterman come in for Justin Fields, I'm like, oh, God, Nate Peterman's there.
He's third string.
Remember when we bet on him, Gabe? We went to a CFL game. McKinnis threw 4 interceptions in the first half. I'm like, good work, Peterman. We're at the Saskatchewan Argos game. Oh, yeah, good work, Peterman. That guy's brutal.
Peterman came in for the
best the team total overs, guys. With Colorado, win or lose, they score 4 goals. I'm telling you guys. They'll lose 8-4. I mean, against Florida, they give up 8 goals. Team total hits every time.
All right, hang in here, McKinnis. We got a quick turnaround here. We'll be back in about 30 seconds with some NFL best bets.